Hi everyone, my name's Donna Rayner. I'm a principal at Russell Kennedy Lawyers and I'm here today to talk with Rosemary about resident meetings in retirement villages in Victoria during COVID-19. So Rosemary, what's your thoughts on whether you can hold a meeting?
So at the moment in Victoria, no, you can't hold resident meetings because that would be in breach of the social gathering directions made by the Chief Health Officer in Victoria. So you can't physically have face-to-face meetings with your residents at the village at the moment. If the village has good virtual facilities, so you could have virtual meetings, you might want to try having a look at that, but I think most villages would struggle with that in the current environment as well.
And Rosemary, what are your thoughts on deferring resident meetings?
So there's no sort of legislative provision that allows you to defer resident meetings. There's still those requirements under the Act about having an annual meeting and dealing with budgets, etc. But I think really common sense is the issue here. Is residents will need to accept that you can't physically hold a meeting face-to-face in the current circumstances. And so you may very well need to defer your annual meeting until the state of emergency has ceased.
And so if you can't hold a meeting, how can you increase maintenance charges and deal with budget matters?
So Donna, I think in relation to budgets and maintenance charges, good practice is really to get the resident committee on board in terms of your budget and maintenance charge increases before you go to the resident group as a whole and seek that vote at a meeting. So what we've been looking at here is that in these circumstances, you could go to the resident committee because they have the power under the Act to actually approve an increase in maintenance charges above the CPI. Often you wouldn't do that because they would really prefer it goes to the resident group, but you can do that legally under the Act. So we'd suggest that you go to the resident committee and have the committee to pass that resolution to approve the increase in the maintenance charge. And that can be by a written email circular resolution by them. They don't have to meet in person to do that. And then what you can say to them is, look, once these circumstances have ended, that you can hold the full resident budget meeting and it can be endorsed by the resident group at that stage. But then at least you can set your maintenance charge for your financial year coming up and have your budget set in place. So I think that's really the common sense way to do it in Victoria.
Thanks very much, Rosemary. That's really practical advice. So if you have any queries in relation to COVID-19 issues, please feel free to contact Rosemary or I at Russell Kennedy Lawyers. Thank you.